Well, folks, I am on the phone with none other than Jody Madaras. He is the writer-creator of All Hands on Deck that is coming into the Cactus Theater on February 17th. How are you doing this afternoon, Jody?
Suzanne, I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great. It is good to talk to you. This is your second time coming to Lubbock.
It is, and we are so excited, and it's just going to be a great, great night on February 17th.
Now, let's tell everybody about All Hands on Deck. Now, it's a musical, but it's based on an old radio broadcast circa 1942, right?
Yeah, that's right. The All Hands on Deck show is an authentic road show and radio broadcast from 1942, and it features 4 Broadway singer-dancers, myself included, and a 9-piece live big band orchestra, and 42 of the greatest American songs ever written, including Deep in the Heart of Texas.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. Where'd you come up with the idea for All Hands on Deck?
Well, I've been a Broadway performer for over 26 years. I'm originally from the Buckeye State of Ohio, and spent 26 years performing on Broadway and off-Broadway and regional theaters, tours, and in 2006, I decided that it was time to write my own show, and I really wanted to write a show that showcases a time when our country was fully united. And in my research, I came up with 1942. It was an amazing year for America. It was a time when our country was fully united, and a time when every American felt they had something to contribute to their country, and the contributions were many. And so as I started writing, I found this little band of Hollywood film stars, and they called themselves the Hollywood Victory Caravan, and they went out all across the country and they did road shows and they sold war bonds. So if someone in, say, Lubbock, Texas wanted to come to the show, they had to buy a war bond as kind of the price of the ticket, and they could see stars like Frank Sinatra and Bob Hope, Lucille Ball, Fred Astaire, the Marx Brothers, you name it. So when I found this Hollywood Victory Caravan, I said, you know, no one had ever thanked them, gave them a postage stamp or anything. And I said, I'm going to base my show loosely on the Hollywood Victory Caravan. And that is how I came up with the All Hands on Deck. All the songs in the show really carry that spirit, that can-do spirit of America. And I think that's why our show is so popular, because of those songs.
Now, you've been touring with this show since, what, 2010? Is that right?
Close. We premiered the show in 2011, and we got it out on the road in 2012. And boy, we have been everywhere with it, all across the USA. And then in 2016, we were asked to bring the show to Branson, Missouri, where we do the show a couple months out of the year at the Dutton Family Theater.
What's been the reception from folks that grew up during that time period? Are they saying, wow, you nailed it, or?
Yes. It's the best part of this entire experience for me is meeting all of the seniors and the veterans and their spouses, World War II veterans, Korean War, Vietnam War, you name it. They come to the show. Following the show, many of the audience members will stick around in the theater, and usually the stars of the show will come out and talk with them. And boy, the stories they have to share with us are just wonderful, and it's almost like the 2 hours of the show, or hour and a half the show is, they are kind of reliving their youth and remembering these wonderful memories, and it's really quite a remarkable show.
That's the best way to pay a tribute to the greatest generation, is to do a show like this and have them relive those great memories from that time period.
Yes, and in fact, many times what happens is when we meet these folks after our show, it could be that a son or a daughter, let's say it's a son, brought his father to the show, and his father is older, let's say a senior, and during the show, the son turns and looks at his father, and his father is singing these songs and humming, and the son has never seen that side of his own father. That's what these songs do. And I would also add, recently, we've had a lot of young folks come to the show who love jazz music and love big band. They come just to hear the orchestra, you know, and that's a lot of fun to see some young faces out there, too.
And in a time where we are more divided than ever, it's good to remember a time, even if just for a little while, when everybody was together and united in one purpose.
Yes, it's really the best of our nation, I think.
Yes, and it is a totally patriotic show. I remember seeing it when you came to Lubbock the last time, and I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to keep going. I was just thoroughly enjoying it.
Oh, I'm so glad. We felt the same way. And the Cactus Theater is such a special place. It's a small stage with a lot of heart.
Yes.
And we're just delighted to be coming back.
Now, we've heard a little bit about Jody Madaras. What else can you tell us about who Jody Madaras is?
Oh, golly. How much time do you and your listeners have? Well, who is Jody Madaras is a proud American whose ancestors came from Budapest, Hungary, through Ellis Island, and assimilated into the United States and worked hard. And Jody Madaras is the beneficiary, I guess is the word, of wonderful ancestors. And that's probably the best way to describe me.
I've read you've been compared to Danny Kaye as far as your performance and your style.
Thank you. You're making me blush now, and that's okay. You know, Danny Kaye is worth talking about. What a character. I do research Danny. I've watched all of his movies and read the biographies. And the part I play in the All Hands on Deck show is Ted Crosley. That's the name of my character. And he is a combination of Bob Hope and Little Jack Benny and a lot of Danny Kaye.
Oh, yeah. Now, who else is going to be in the show with you?
Yes, co-starring is Valerie Hill of Broadway fame. Valerie plays the role of Betty Blake, the Bond bombshell, as in war bond bombshell. Mm-hmm. And then we have Randall Patterson, who is a wonderful performer out of Las Vegas. He plays the tenor role of John Handley. And then we have a young gal who's just joined the caravan here. Her name is Madeline Clem, and she's a graduate of the College of the Ozarks here in the Branson, Missouri area, and she's playing the role of Daisy Maxwell, which is the girl next door, the sweater girl, kind of loosely based on Judy Garland. Those are our stars of the show, and then we travel with a 9-piece live big band orchestra. Many of the musicians are from Texas.
We really want and invite everybody to All Hands on Deck. It's a very patriotic. You're going to walk out feeling good about yourself and your country. So we encourage everybody to come to All Hands on Deck, February 17th, 7 o'clock. Tickets available at cactustheater.com, or you can call the box office 762-3233. Jody, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk with me today. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, Suzanne. Thanks for having me. And we'll see everybody at the show.